After the first segment? Okay. Well,
And I tell why I wrote the book and how I wrote
okay,
it and
then,
why it's
and so we'll
significant.
get into a discussion of the book
Right.
during
Yeah.
that second segment. But the first segment will be background,
But
education, experience about you and whatever.
Okay.
All right? And then when we come back during that second segment, we'll start talking about the book, 30, I think it's 30 years of bondage. Is
No, many roads travel.
Many roads travel.
And see,
20.
here's what is significant. This is why early on I wanted to get into. I've written so many books. I've written 14. Look here. This is what we're talking about.
Okay. Is that the book you want to talk about?
This one here.
Okay.
Many roads travel.
Many roads travel, okay.
Okay. Now the cover of this book, the cover of this book enunciates the essence of the whole book. Well, you see here, many roads travel from the rugged paths in Africa and the riding on a oxen to the mid-passage of the slave ship to the coffle, and see, I can pull in some
Okay.
the coffle.
Okay. Well, let's get it set up first.
Yeah.
Let's get it set up. We'll do that first and second segment. And let's do we're going to have to do this on the last segment.
Okay.
Because that'll give us the time. And so the first two segments, we'll deal with your background, education, and experience.
Okay.
Okay? And then African Americans, that second segment, African Americans and slavery.
I don't want to use that, of course.
You don't want to use that? Well,
Because there's a mentality that slavery is unique to ethnicity, and it's not. Every group has been enslaved.
Well, well, let's just talk about slavery, the many roads travel, however you want to do it.
Let me give you the significance. You see this?
Yes, ma'am.
This is an item that's older than America. That is a pipe stem, which was once a reed like this. It belonged to this woman, grandfather.
Do what?
Okay?
The same.
Okay.
The story of the road that she and her forebears traveled from the shores of Africa to Marshall County, Tennessee, where she is buried.
Okay.
Makes for a provocative story.
Okay, you're going to tell that story?
Yes.
Okay, well, good. Okay, well, let's just get up here and we'll tell the story. And then the last part, last 10 minutes.
Okay.
Last 10 minutes, we're going to roll out the display.
Okay. We'll bring it over, set it up, and
a corn cob, along with a reed,
Okay.
was the means of making pipes among poor people. And this pipe stem dates from 1755,
Okay.
and it's this woman's grandmother.
Okay,
grandfather.
let's get started.
It's rich in history.
Dr. Young,
Yeah. Okay.
let's get started, and by having you to have a seat here, and what we want to talk about first is about Dr. Morton Young.
Okay.
Okay. And you tell us about your background, your education, and your experience.
All right.
And we'll both relate to that.
Oh, I have lost my number. Oh, I'm moving around here. I got something. I jumped up and disrupted that.
you're fine. And that should be fine.
Okay.
Okay, now. Okay, so Dr. Morton Young, what we'll do, Tommy Morton Young, all right? What we'll do, Dr. Young, is to Morton Young. That's the way you want to do the last.
Dr. Morton Young.
Yeah. Okay, Dr. Morton Young. That's the way we'll do that. What we'd like to do, Dr. Morton Young, is to do the first 6 minutes, dealing with your background, education, and experiences. That's 6 minutes. You got 6 minutes to talk about that. And all I'll do is let's talk about your background, your education, and your experience. Then you start, my name is Dr. Tommy Morton Young. I was born. And then for the next 6 minutes, tell me something about yourself, okay? And then we'll call end to that part. Then we'll have 8 minutes for that second part, and we'll talk about the book. This is where you want to introduce the book. You're about born 20 years in bondage.
Yes.
Okay, you talk about that. Okay, that'll be 8 minutes.
Yes.
And then we'll end that, and then we'll bring out the display, and then you talk about the display. How does that sound?
Okay.
Okay, very good. Okay. Okay, anytime we're ready now. See, I've got.
Mic check, man.
Okay.
Say your name and count to 10, so make sure you can hear your mic.
Mic check.
What about it?
Check your mic.
Oh.
Just count to 10 for me.
No, you don't have to bother. Just hold it down.
You just got to say your name and count to 10.
Oh, my name.
Yeah, you don't
I'm
have to pay
Dr.
attention to the mic.
Tommy Morton Young.
Yeah, just
And
put.
just count to 10.
Just no.
She good.
No.
Okay.
You're good.
Thank you and welcome to the show today. The topic today has to do with Dr. Tommy Morton Young, who has quite a bit of information in reference to the institution of slavery and has published 14 or 15 different books dealing with the African American experience in the United States. And so what we'd like to do today, Dr. Young, is to have you to give us some information about your background, your education, and some of your experiences, and we will do this for about 6 minutes, and then we'll have our first commercial break, and then we'll come back and we'll deal with the book, with your book, one of your many books, and then after that 8-minute segment, we'll come back and we'll deal with some of the displays and some of the artifacts that you have dated back to the institution of slavery, and then we'll have an opportunity to deal with those artifacts and that display for the last 10 minutes of the show, and then we'll be able to end this show for today. Let's start off by having you to talk about Tommy Morton Young before she became Dr. Tommy Morton Young. Let's do it from that perspective, Dr. Young.
Well, I am Tommy Morton Young. I was born and reared in Nashville, in North Nashville, in fact. I am a product of the public schools. Received my Bachelor's of Arts degree cum laude from Tennessee State University. I was picked by the Southern Education Foundation and some of my former professors at Tennessee State to integrate Peabody College long before it became a part of Vanderbilt. I was the first African American to graduate from Peabody College with a Master's of Arts. I later went on to Duke University because I was in North Carolina at the University of North Carolina system teaching and as an administrator, and received a PhD from Duke University. I am listed on the North Carolina literary map, although I am a Tennessean, but my roots go back to North Carolina. Not only do my roots go back to North Carolina, but I have traced them across the ocean to the Ewe tribe of southern Ghana. I am a genealogist, and the last time I had the pleasure of being on your program, we talked about the Tennessee African American Genealogical and Historical Society. And so my writings the majority of them are in history and genealogy. And the work that I'd like to share with you today is genealogical. It is Southern history. It is African history. And it's about the experience of a woman from whose parents came from Africa. She was born here. But as I say, I am a genealogist. I do research and have, I guess, since the 1970s, and decided to write this particular book about my great-grandmother, in fact.
And so what we'll do, Dr. Young, is to devote some time to this particular book during our second segment of this show. But now, this is not the only book that you've written. I'm sure of that because I know of some of the earlier books. But why don't you, during the last minute and a half, mention some of the other books that you've written so that we might be able to get that information onto tape for today?
Yes. One of the books that I have written, which has also been published in India, that's interesting to me, but it's called Nashville, Tennessee. It's in the Black America series, over 200 photographs and legends and descriptions. I wrote another book about Nashville.